Hi, my name is Mel Colley from Mel Colley Pilates, and in this video, even though we talk about the neck and we get quite concerned about how tight the neck is and short and painful in our neck or our shoulders, looking at this work from Thomas Myers from the Anatomy Trains, if I show you this little picture of fascia, which is underneath your skin, before we get to the muscles, and fascia is everywhere in the body, the feet, the fascia underneath the foot connects all the way up into the back of the head via the neck. So sometimes things that go on in your feet affect your neck. We can also see that in the front line of fascia because they're all separated into lines, so we can understand them a bit better and how they function. And in the front of the foot, the fascia comes up here and into the neck, the side of the neck. So there's a lot of foot stuff that can affect our necks. So if you've ever gone over on your ankle or busted a toe or stubbed your toe or done anything like that with your feet, anything falling on your toes or anything like that, then you're going to have maybe issues going all the way up the front or the back and into your neck. So we're going to start by, if you take your socks off, well, you can probably do this with your socks on, or if you've got tights on, you might be able to do it, as long as they're quite loose and not tight, and as long as they're not pulling over your toes to you and squashing your toes in. So you're going to gently grab hold of your big toe and just gently twist it from side to side. So you're gently pulling and twisting, just pulling and twisting. So we're trying to create some space in the joints of your big toe. So you've got 2 bones in your big toe. And then you're going to get onto the next toe, and you've got 3, and in all the other toes, you've got 3 bones in each toe. Even the little toe's got 3 bones in. There must be tiny, weeny ones. So the next toe, pulling and gently twisting it. So not trying to yank the toe off, so you're being quite gentle. Yeah, so don't feel that you need to pull or yank the toe too much. And then you go on to the next one. So whilst you're doing this, your knee will be out to the side. So make sure your knee is quite rested. If it feels uncomfortable, see if you can rest your knee on something like another chair, or if you've got a desk to the side of you. And then on to the next one. So you want to have you don't want to be uncomfortable as you sit here, or resting onto the back of your chair, and then pulling and twisting the last one. And then you're going to grab hold of your toes, but your big toe is going to be separate. And you're going to pull the big toe and the other toes away from each other, and release and pull. So you're going to create some space between your big toe and your second toe. And then grab hold of your big toe and your second toe and pull them away from the other 3 toes to create some space. And then grab hold of 3 toes and the next 2 little toes, pulling away, creating space. And just notice if there is space. Sometimes they get swapped down together in shoes, and then pull away the little toe and the others away from each other, create some space. And then see if you can put your fingers in between your toes. And then see if you can push your toes up and down. You might need to move your foot. You see how you feel. If you're not very flexible in your toes, just try and move that. See if you can do that with your heel and your ankle, and then see if you can do it with less movement in the ankle and more movement in the front of your foot, and then more movement in your toes. Let's wiggle them around. This is if it might feel funny, it might feel a bit, it might feel a bit weird. Obviously you can't do that if you've got socks on, maybe, or tights on. You might have to take them off for that. You might have to leave that out if you're at work and you can't take them off. And come on to the other foot and just pull and gently twist the big toe. And if you're able to hold on to this foot, you might be able to feel how far down the big toe goes. The movement of the toe, you'll feel halfway down your foot. And then go on to the next toe, pulling and twisting. And then on to the next one, pulling and twisting. And then the next one. And some of them might go creaking and cracking, and some of them might just do it quite easily. Creaking and cracking, the little one. And if you've ever broken your toes, I've broken my little toes before by bashing into skirting boards and things like that. They might feel a bit floppy, might feel a bit weird. Some people like the toes, some people can't stand them. So try and level your feet a little bit. So you pulled and twist your toes. So grab hold of your big toe and take that away from the other toes. So you're creating this sideways stretch, and then hold on to the 2 toes, the big toe and the second toe, pull them away from the others, and then holding on to 3 toes, pull them away from the last 2, hold on to the 4 toes and pull the little toe away. And then put your fingers in between your toes if you can do that today, if not, maybe another day, or you can remember this one and do it at home. Flex and extend your foot, and then see if you can just make that movement smaller and just let your toes do the movement. Remember that image we were looking at earlier of the fascia underneath your foot and on the front of the foot. We're creating some space of the fascia underneath your foot, so allowing it to feed its way back up into your neck. And then put your foot down, so your feet are on the floor. Oh, I feel quite zingy. And you're just bringing that awareness, the proprioception, back into your feet. And notice your heels. Okay, your heels touching the floor, the ball of your big toe and the ball of your little toe. So you've got a tripod underneath each foot, and lift and lower your toes. Just let your toes lift and your toes lower. Lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. Just noticing the toes lifting and lowering. And then notice how much your little toe lifts and lowers. Probably not very much. Can you allow all of your toes to lift the same as your little toe? So it won't be such a big movement. It'll be more of a smaller, maybe a slower movement. So all your toes match the lifting and lowering of your little toe. And then see if you can spread them away from each other, as if you have got your fingers in between your toes and you're trying to create that space. Can you allow them to have some space? Because they're muscles that pull the toes away from each other, and they affect everything, lots of other things that go on in the body, your knees, your hips, how you move, how you walk, how you move in your pelvis and in your ribs. We're going all the way up, as we saw in that fascia picture earlier, into your neck. In the book, if you're interested to find out more, is Anatomy Trains by Thomas Myers, and you'll learn a lot about how the body works and how it all connects together. Happy practicing.